figuring out how to use my camera.
No
One
worries.
moment, please. One
Um,
moment,
there,
please.
yeah, there's also I think on the three dots, if you click that in the bottom right, there should be a flip camera if you want to do that instead. Um, I don't know
Right.
what you prefer.
So
Um,
let's just do it this way. It's
yeah,
alright.
yeah, it's fine, it's fine. All right, so everyone, I'm delighted to have Bethra here as a guest to talk a bit more about what he does and also about the project he's involved in. It's going to be great, great stuff. Yeah, I'll just leave it over to you. Could you please introduce yourself?
Okay, hi. My name is Odie. My name is Matt. Matt Droid in internet, but you can call me Matt, or my real name is Odie. And I live in Jakarta right now, Jakarta in Indonesia. So yeah, I'm currently building Refi, Reimagine Finance. It's farming as a service. It's yield farming as a service, which I can go through later if you want to ask more. But yeah, I'm currently building Refi with some of my friends and new families. Excited to build this. Excited to be here with you.
Great stuff. So, tell us more about. So, for the people who are watching, most of them are kind of new into the crypto space. Maybe they've done a few trades on a centralized exchange, but they're kind of moving into like getting their first non-custodial wallets and getting into Dexes. And if you think of, from their point of view, what would you tell them to explain what is yield farming and what's FAAS farming as a service, and what do you guys do?
All right, so it's definitely a lot of steps there. So for those of you who are into crypto in just CEXs, centralized exchanges like Binance, FTX, and etc. So crypto world has a lot more than that, a lot more than just buying crypto like stocks.
Mm,
In these centralized exchanges, you can just trade crypto as in just like you are trading stocks. Yeah, like you can buy, you can sell, you can create orders, you can long or short, but that's about it in these centralized exchanges. So there's a lot more to crypto than just that. If you want, you can just create your wallet. It's free, like anyone can do it. If you have a computer, you can make a wallet address, and you can transfer your crypto assets to there. For example, if you buy Ethereum on a centralized exchange, you can move that Ethereum into your wallet address, and you can use it for stuff. You can play games using it. You can buy digital goods, NFTs. You can interact with applications uh, that are actually really new. Like these decentralized applications, they use virtual currencies like Ethereum and other tokens. And if you move your assets to your wallet, you can just interact with these applications like freely. So that's one part of the problem. Like you have to move your assets from centralized exchanges to your own wallets, and the benefit from doing that is that you can actually start to feel what crypto is. Like
mm,
crypto means freedom for most people. Like your assets should be yours, and when you create your wallet, your address, your assets is actually managed by yourself and yourself only. In centralized exchanges, your assets, your Ethereum, your Bitcoin is actually handled by the centralized exchanges itself. Like if you buy a Bitcoin, one Bitcoin, for example, in a centralized exchange, it's not in your wallet. It's still on the exchange's wallet. And if they got hacked, your assets can be lost. And if you move it into your wallet address, your assets are effectively yours and no one can take it from you, with some special cases, of course. But yeah, basically, when you move your asset to your wallet, you can do whatever you want with that asset, with that currency, with that token, with that digital good or NFTs. Um, and for example, and there are a lot of a lot of ways to spend your money in crypto in Web3. I will say it Web3 because it's the third generation of Web with payment built in. There are way more wealth generation machines, wealth generation engines in crypto, rather than just buy and hold or just buy low and sell high. There are a lot of interesting mechanics in crypto. Like you can
Exactly.
stake, you can stake your assets. You can convert your asset to another asset, and that will gain yields, etc. You can collateralize your asset and borrow another asset. There are a lot of really exciting, innovative things in crypto. Like it opens a lot of this a whole new avenue to just interact with the financial system. They call it DeFi, decentralized finance. For example, you know about traditional finance. You know banks. You know yeah, traditional stockbroker, etc. So banks charge you like a lot of interest when you borrow from them, but when you supply money to them, you only gain like tiny bit of that interest. Like for if you are supplying, you only get like 2%, for example, but when you are borrowing, you have to pay back 10%. Where does the 7% go? It goes to paying the CEOs, paying the board members, paying the bankers, paying big buildings. They have to pay these big buildings. They have to pay these assets because they have to like project confidence to their users. They have to project that they are safe, they are rich, they have the assets to back the bank up. But in crypto, you don't have to do that. All financial so everything in crypto is open source. It's managed by code, by smart contracts. You don't have to project trust to evoke trust. You can trust the code. The code is open source, and you can verify it yourself. And the code is faultless most of the time. And when using code as a bank, instead of paying these bankers, paying these CEOs, paying the buildings, you effectively gain the value is effectively captured to the users. Like you don't there in banks, like I said, you when you supply, you only get like 2% as interest, and when you borrow, you pay a lot, 10%, for example. But in DeFi, when you borrow, for example, you only pay you pay less than what you would have paid to banks. And when you supply, you would get more than what you would have paid to banks, because like I said, like the systems doesn't have to pay these people, these buildings, these assets, etc. You can gain more value as a user of crypto, as a supplier, or either as a borrower. You can gain these values. Basically you get paid by using stuff more than
And that's the
traditional
whole
finance.
movement, right? That's the whole movement of crypto, replacing these traditional services and also systems in a way that's often more beneficial for the end user, right?
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct. It's really so a lot of traditional finance people and a lot of tech people are moving into crypto because of this exact reason. Like it is the next generation of finance. And also,
and wrapping around to that to what your guys are doing, because so now we talked about like lending and borrowing, and also we touched on staking. So these are like very traditional stuff that's in decentralized finance. But you guys, you're doing something special. You're doing something very new, a very new concept called farming as a service, right?
Yes. As I said, there are a lot of wealth generation mechanism in crypto. You don't have to just borrow or lend, but even just borrowing and lending in crypto is a bit technical. And this new mechanism, this other mechanism, like yield farming, for example, yield farming has a lot of technical barriers for people to enter. Like you have to understand what is yield farming. So yield farming is basically using these crypto protocols to gain yield to gain percentage. Basically, it's a deposit bank. I don't know what you call it there, but in Indonesia it's called deposito. Like it's you put your money in a long for a long term, and you gain a lot of money back, like a percentage of your money back. It's almost like that, but in crypto the percentage, the APY is so huge. It's in the quadrillion APY. Like it's absolutely insane number. I couldn't believe it, but it's actually possible. It's actually doable because everything is in the smart contract, and the value generate. Yeah, basically, this massive value, billions or quadrillions sometimes APY, is only captured by people who are technical, right? People who knows how to move their funds into crypto, how to move their funds from one chain to another, how to use the platforms to gain these yields. And it's a lot of hassle. It's a lot of the barrier is so high. Okay, so what we do at Reimagine Finance is that we break through those barriers. We do those things for you. You only have to buy the token. For example, if you buy $100 worth of ReFi token, you will get taxed 12% from that, and the tax will be used to basically to farm to the portion of your money that get taxed by our smart contract will be used by us to go into these high yield platforms, and after we gain those yields, we will return it back to you. Like and that's basically it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do you don't have to move your funds. You don't have to stake. You don't have to click buttons, like scary buttons. You just have to get some ReFi, connect to our dashboard, and then after a period of time you will get some ETH dividends. Like we will pay you in ETH back. Like basically in the background, like I said, the portion of the tax will be used to farm, and then over the time period, like we will take some profits and then give it back to you, proportional to your ReFi holdings. So if, for example, if you hold 1% of the ReFi total supply, you will get 1% of the farm profits. And we are doing that periodically. Like for now it's weekly, but we are trying to move. Yeah, we are still finding out the best schedule, but that's how it is. That's how you use ReFi.
And how much have you guys? So if we're looking, so ReFi is a bit over a month old right now currently, and
Exactly. Yeah.
how much so far have you distributed to your ReFi holders in terms of
Okay.
Ethereum?
Let me just check in a bit. The data is in our website, reimagine.fi. We have distributed 1218 Ethereum. So 100, it's more than 1,000 Ethereum, and people have withdrawn over 1,026 Ethereum. So if you want to check the data, you can just go take a look at reimagine.fi, and you can see the total earnings distributed and total earnings withdrawn by users.
So in a month, to summarize for people listening, in a month you've been able to distribute over 1,000 Ethereum from such a small starting point. And I mean, I've been following you guys for quite a while now, and the growth you've been experiencing is incredible, because if even if the token doesn't appreciate itself, the holders, they're going like crazy, the farm is growing exponentially. There's some really amazing progress being done by you, and it's just like amazing to watch. Just sit back and watch. And so could you talk about what's different, because with ReFi, because you touched on some of the key points, but could you talk more to people about why this is different from for example, DeFi 2.0? Like what's the main, just to reiterate on the key pointers here?
Of course. So let me start with DeFi 1.0, DeFi 1. So DeFi started when Uniswap was made, right? When people can swap their tokens using decentralized exchanges. You don't have to use centralized exchanges. You don't have to match a buy order with a sell order with other human. So decentralized exchanges are using math calculation. It's x times y equals k, which is constant. It's something interesting. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but decentralized exchanges start the DeFi 1.0, like decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, Aave, a lending platform, Curve, and other base primitives for the DeFi 1. And DeFi 2 started earlier last year, 2021, with and other forks. Like it started the high yield farms, high yield tokens, rebase tokens. Basically, it's what started. It's a wealth generation machine, right? You gain value just by staking and etc. But the value gain is so high, millions, billions, or even quadrillions of percentage APY. But sadly, it's the barrier is too high. It's only for the technical people. That's DeFi 2.0. A lot of people are building on this, like using this, and even made a lot of money from this. But again, this is only for people who are tech savvy. And in DeFi 3, it's been changed. So DeFi 3.0 is democratizing those yield gains, those value into more normal people, into people like us, people who can only trade using DEXs like Uniswap, not centralized exchanges yet, but it's coming. So people who are not as tech savvy can get a portion of those yield gains too. Like DeFi 3.0 is basically this, like a managed DeFi. Like some people call it CDeFi, centralized DeFi, but yeah, we like the term DeFi 3.0 because not every DeFi 3.0 is centralized. Like some of them are using DAOs, some of them are using a mix of both. But yeah, that's DeFi 3.0. Democratizing DeFi 2.0. Yeah.
Democratizing DeFi 2.0. I love that. And for to have a really good solution in this sense, you have to have a great team. And I must say that both you and you have Huff and Oshi and you got Nev in the Telegram and Mike and and Digital. It's just great seeing you guys how you work. And for everyone's watching, it's you should check them out on Twitter and follow and see, kind of look for yourself on what they're doing, and it's really great stuff. And they're very active on Twitter, especially if you want to follow the farm. Huff is doing a lot of posts on Twitter in terms of how they're managing things, and I think you interact with some of it as well, so you can see like likes and retweets and such.
Yeah. You don't even have to buy ReFi to gain value. You can just follow us and check what Huff is posting, what we are posting, and you can basically just see how we are managing the farm, how we are gaining those exponential yields. And if you want, you can copy that. You can just use it, do it yourselves. But we are offering you an easier way to do it, just by buying ReFi.
That's exactly right. I mean, just from an educational standpoint, it's really worthwhile to have a look at all their socials. And ReFi also has a great podcast called the ReFi DeFi podcast, I believe, or DeFi ReFi.
Yes, ReFi DeFi podcast. Huff is awesome.
Yes, and they have some great interviews, including like the founders of Butterflies. If you have any a new order. If you have any idea of DeFi 2.0, then you should know about Redacted Cartel by now.
Yes.
As
Yes.
uh, it was a great episode, and it's just one example of, I think there's 6 episodes so far, and they just keep on. Huff
I,
keeps on
I
interviewing.
think it's 7 now.
7. Oh my God,
7.
you guys too fast. So I was thinking we could do a bit of a Q&A because we have a lot of students
Of
in
course.
here. A lot of them are in like their final years of high school, maybe even starting at university. And many of them are very technical in that sense that they want to go on to do engineering or programming, or maybe STEM, something STEM related, or econ. So I was just wondering if anyone here in the audience has any questions. Just type them out in the comments, so we can take the opportunity to ask Matt how you develop such a thing, how you come on to start. Um, I guess in the meantime, I'd like to ask, like, how did you get into crypto? What was your
I see. I see. So, my first um, journey into crypto was actually way back when, like, it's in. I believe I got into crypto in 2017, but back then it was like filled with ICOs and etc. I wasn't really deep into crypto. I was just following the where the market was going. Um, Lots of different investments, lot of different tokens, but there were no the builders weren't there yet. Like there were no builders. There were just a lot of opportunists, and it turned out to be a crash, like an ICO crash, and I basically haven't touched crypto again afterwards. Until like 2019, I got contracted by a centralized exchange. I started working on an exchange uh, as a contracted dev just for a bit, 2019, and then start of 2020, I started buying ETHs. Like I sense that the pandemic will last longer, and it might be a good time to just stack on digital currencies, especially when I saw like the how like the global sentiment, like it made sense to just stock up on a global currency, a global permissionless currency. Just I just started staking Ethereum in 2020, and Uniswap launched in 2020, and a lot of DeFi 1.0 is gained traction in 2020. But I didn't dive deep into crypto until 2021 because of NFTs. NFTs
mm,
excites me. Like it's exciting. Like it's digital goods. That digital goods that you own, that you personally own. Like interesting concept of blockchain application. And yeah, I started diving deep into NFTs. I worked in multiple NFT projects, writing contracts, writing websites for that, and etc. And I'm a trader myself too. Like in the meantime, I was also trading lots of currencies, and basically I saw the need for this fast. I saw the need for this. There's a gap between the tech savvy ones that can gain this huge amount of yield, and the people who are just like me. Like we didn't know how to do all that. We didn't have, even if we do, we don't have the time to manage the portfolio full time, because it's definitely a full time job. It's more than a full time job, honestly. Like it's 26. It requires 26 hours a day, but yeah, I saw the need, so I did some research and just basically gathered a team and then built this thing, and that's how I got into DeFi.
that's awesome. That's really great. Let's see if I have any. Always a classic. Is what's the crypto of the future? Is refi the crypto of the future?
Right. Refi is definitely future proofing ourselves, right? This ReFi token is not going to be the only product that we are going to make. This is just the start, and yeah, ReFi team is definitely future proofing everything.
That's exciting. And did you guys hear the alpha about decentralized exchange? Because I did. That's a sneaky info right there. You gotta take notes. You gotta take notes on these things. Yeah, everyone definitely check the website reimagine.fi and also the Twitter ReFi. Let's see here. Do we have any more questions? Feel free to just type them out in chat. What's my question? What I want to know is what do I want to know? I want to know how many people. I guess the people don't know this. How many people are working in ReFi currently?
Right. So the number is continuously changing because of the nature of future of working. Like we are in the phase where you don't have to you don't have to come to work. You don't have to. Our team is global, right? And you can just pick, and people can just come and go and just do some bounties, etc. But we have some full-timers too. Like we have 10 people in the core chat, and an extra like five more for like mods and advisors. So yeah, the core team is about 10 people, but we have like this very variable number of people who are coming in and out, who are working on bounties instead of like doing full time. It's better for them and better for us too. Like it's better for everyone. Yeah, I'm actually interested in this kind of future of working too. Like you don't have to commit full time to a specific company or project, but for sure, like for me, this is a full time job. Like for all people in the core team, this is a full time job. But for other people who are basically mods or maybe dev for hire, they are working on multiple projects at the same time, and it's working well for them. So if you are wondering where you want to work in the next few years, you can just check out like this organization. Like it's called DAOs, right? Decentralized autonomous organizations, and they have a lot of money. They have a lot of capital. They want to deploy this capital for productive use. Just pick one DAO and just see if they have like any projects ongoing or any bounties, or you can even like propose something to them, and they will happily check your proposal and send some funds if they are interested too.
That's something I keep telling people, that it's for like a private individual that's like for like a uni student or a student who wants to earn a bit of cash or get to work. This is something that I think is so underrated, to literally contact DAOs who have these massive treasuries, have a lot of funding, and they're like constantly hiring. Like I get DMs every day about people like, we'll hire you and fund any startup you want if you quit uni and start working with us right now. It's to the point where it's crazy, right?
Exactly.
It's unbelievable. Like they can't employ people fast enough. So like, to everyone's listening, I implore you to start if you want jobs, I implore you to either learn how to dev, how to make art, how to manage communities, and start reaching out to people in crypto, because there's jobs out there, and they're plentiful.
Exactly. And I even quit my full-time job. If I quit my six-figure job, like tech startup job, and just go into this full-time, because we do need the manpower. We do need the human power to work on this. we always need more people to just we have to I'm sorry to say this, but we have too much money. We have too much money to be put for productive use. Um,
The
DAOs
money is
are
growing faster than people. It's
exactly, exactly. Yeah,
unbelievable. All right. Well, that's it, everyone. Thank you for listening. Just hit some 7 a.m. here in London. I know that
good morning.
Odie's busy getting back to work on Refi, and I'm getting back to my uni student studying, and everyone's watching is probably going either to sleep, to work, or um, just maybe waking up and joining us. Thank you so much for joining. It's been a real pleasure, honestly.
Hey, my pleasure too, Rasmus and everyone here.
All right. Take care. I'm gonna end the live stream and then I'll see you in the Telegram.
All right, see ya. Thanks for having me.
Bye bye. And everyone follow on Twitter and the podcast as well. Don't miss out. Refi.